I'm very jealous of you because on my run sheet, dirt sheet, whatever you want to call it, I noticed something. And fresh out of college, you were handling merchandising for touring bands. Oh my God.
Yes.
Hootie and the
Yes, I
Blowfish.
saw that.
Oh,
Oh
Right?
man, love
yes.
me some
I
Hootie.
immediately popped and highlighted that shit.
Yeah.
Um, dude, tell
I
me how those
spent
guys are. How'd that go?
Dude, they're incredible. And it's you get them at this moment in their life where like they all have wives and families and kids now, but they still can make $500,000 to show up and do a Walmart corporate gig. Or
Yeah.
every
Man.
year they're going to show up and they're going to do their charity gig that's in a sold out arena, just because they feel like doing something on the road. And at that time too, Darius Rucker, his country career was taking off. So you were in the office and you get calls from NASCAR, or you'd get calls from, these big corporations that were asking him to do stuff. And you kind of got to see that, like, if he didn't want to go to the sound check, he wasn't going to go to the sound check. And it was a thing that was very, very earned with them, because their manager, Chris, who I was working for in their offices in Columbia, South Carolina, he would show me these old letters they would keep from all the record labels. And now they've sold, I think, over 30 million records in their career. I'm sure with Darius's numbers at it. I mean, they're a very high selling group with a lot of singles and a lot of commercial play that has paid them handsomely through the years. To see the amount of rejections they got from their first demo, their first album, of this isn't what we're looking for, this isn't good, we don't see any commercial future with this. They kept every one of those. And so I think that was the first time you see, like, if you believe the product you're putting out there is good, then you have to stick by it. You have to trust that your mind, maybe they're not ready for you yet, but your mind has something that is going to contribute to the art or going to give something. And so I think, like, whether good or bad, having that kind of mindset of like, rejection isn't the end of anything, it's sort of the beginning. And to see, like, these companies that come around, and I think they've released records on a few of the different labels now, you see that, like, if you really believe and you have other people telling you that, hey, what you're doing is good and what you're doing is great, if the corporate brass at the top isn't quite ready for it, it doesn't mean that it's not good. It just means, like, in their opinion or what they're looking for, they don't think they can find it commercially viable. And Hootie stood to the side. I've got their first record still before they were signed, that I stole a copy from the warehouse. And it's the same songs that they put out on the first record that came out, that was millions and millions of records sold, that had Hold My Hand and Only Want to Be With You and all these crazy tracks. And now to see, like, they're still touring, they're still doing stuff. A lot of the times, like, I would be handling the online store, I'd be handling the merchandise, but then it'd be something like, can you go get a porch swing for the drummer and set it up in his house? And, like, can you go help out filming, like, behind the scenes stuff of just them hanging out? And so there were these really cool, like, human opportunities to hang out with these people that are, when the show goes on, it's larger than life. But when they're just hanging out, like, this is also their job. And so they, they're going to use their employees to put the swing up from the money they earned playing drums. It was very cool. They're a huge party band, I think, still. So seeing a band that they would travel with 4 tractor trailers, 3 of them were music equipment, lighting and staging and their instruments and stuff. And then the 4th was just a VIP lounge. So it would be all these leather sofas, tents, the full bar in road cases. So they have, like, margarita machines in the road case, the full stack bar in the road case. And so it was just this incredible kind of getting to see, like, entertainment at this different level. I've been playing in, lower level bands that would tour small places and go around the Southeast or around the US somewhat, but seeing, like, access to these venues, these green rooms, like the parties they put on, it's a whole production. Okay, hold on. Bobby's going crazy.
So Effy, are you saying that Darius would big league the sound gimmick?
Sometime? 100%. So there was one time where NASCAR called it and they said, we need him to wear this sponsor shirt. And he said, no, I don't think so. And they said, well, we need you here for the sound check. He said, no, I don't think so. And then they said, well, we need you here, like, for this additional meet and greet thing. He's like, what does it pay? And they're like, nothing. And he's like, I don't think so. And they just said yes. So it was just like, I've always joked in wrestling, it's the same as music, where, like, there are so many rules unless you're really over. And then there's less rules. You can kind of do what you want. But if you're not over, you better follow these rules. But once you get over, you're kind of making up the rules for yourself. And so, you want to achieve at least getting to that position where you're like, where it's a little normal for the boy to come put your porch swing